The war on protein.
Yeah, I'm waging this war. I'm starting now. I'm fighting back against the onslaught of protein in the grocery store.
The guidelines on realfood.gov, which is where you can find these guidelines, they really do specifically say that they are ending the war on protein.
As someone who lived through the 90s and the 2000s and the Atkins diet, I didn't realize that we were in a war.
Yeah, listen. So this version of the dietary guidelines really puts protein on a huge pedestal, and it does so in two ways that are different from prior guidelines and not based in nutrition research or data. So first, these guidelines emphasize over and over again, both visually and in the text itself, a specific and explicit recommendation to consume your protein primarily from animal sources.
Right. I can picture the steak in that.
The steak.
In that pyramid. Yeah.
Ah, it's huge. All of the nutrition data that we do have point to plant sources of protein being associated with lower disease risks, lower mortality, better cardiovascular outcomes than animal proteins.
At least 70 years ago, it was known that plant protein was associated with lower
Better
incidence
health
of chronic
outcomes.
disease. Yeah.
Yes, plant proteins are sufficient in terms of getting us enough quality of protein, and they, again, reduce cardiovascular disease risk, like over and over and over again in studies. The war on protein, from what I can tell, is that the Dietary Guidelines Advisory Committee, who published the initial recommendations that they did not use to make these new guidelines, specifically said that we need to have an emphasis on plant-based proteins. And they had the audacity to suggest that beans, peas, and lentils should be taken out of the vegetables group and grouped with the proteins group.
Which is wild because historically that's where it has been too.
Listen, that is the war. That's the war on protein.